You see, fear, like I was saying earlier, more you concentrate on your negative side, more the fear will arise. Because you're feeding it. People, when they have fear, what they do? They meditate on it. They sit there and think about the fear. So what will happen? If tomorrow morning you wake up and say, you are sick. Okay? Imagine the power of the mind. Tomorrow you wake up and say, you are sick. You will be sick. It's not about sitting there and say, yes, I fight it, and try to get rid, I get rid. You will not be able to get rid because your mind is so powerful. But it will make it become that reality. The thing that, you have heard, no? The thing that you fear the most happen. When I said the thing that I fear the most, it happened. But who have make it happen? Nobody else. You yourself have make it happen. Because you have feed that fear. You have feed that mind with, with that fear, till that fear become your reality. Same thing, you see, when people sit down and meditate. So often I have this question, people sit and meditate, but yet they say, yeah, but I am meditating, but it's not possible. My mind is running, damping. Well, look, the mind have one job. The job of the mind is to jump like a monkey. So let it. Don't fight it. See, this is the problem. When you start fighting it, you're in reality giving it more power. The more you fight it, more powerful the mind become. The more powerful the mind become, more fear become huge. So, in reality, it's not big. Even the smallest thing, out of fear, you make it big. Once, you see, Krishna and the Pandava was walking in the forest. So they arrived in a forest where there was a demon living. So in that forest, nobody will go. No? So they decided to stay on the outskirts of the forest, but with one condition, that each time, Panch Pandav, which means 5 brothers, and Krishna. So each time one will sleep, the other one will watch, keep guard. So among them, there was a big, strong one called Bhim. So he kept watch. At night, when the demon came out from the forest, here, please, what I'm talking about demon, I'm not talking a demon like the devil in the Bible, because then, just to clarify it, because so when the demon or the entity of the forest came out, Bhim, what he did, because he was very powerful, he said, I'll fight him. So he went and fight with that demon. So he got a good beating, and he came back quietly, he slept. So the second brother, when the time was for him to wake up, he woke up, the same thing happened. Third one, fifth. So all of them went through the same ordeal. Until finally Krishna was his time to watch. So when Krishna was keeping watch, he saw them all sleeping. The demon came to him. So the demon was trying to scare Krishna. And Krishna said, what do you want from me? At that moment the demon, because when the demon was fighting with the others, each time he will scare them, they will get scared inside of them, and the demon will grow bigger. So each time he will fight, the demon will be huge, and of course they will get scared. They get a good beating afterwards. So when Krishna's time, the demon came again, tried to scare Krishna. Krishna said, "What do you want?" He tried to scare Krishna. So each time Krishna said, "What do you want?" he became small, small, and small, and small, small, until he was just small like this. So Krishna looked at him and catch him, and put him in his pocket. So the next day, when they woke up, they were all beaten blue and everything. And said, "Oh, they saw Krishna is still fresh." And I said, "Krishna, you don't know what have happened last night." And Krishna said, "What?" He said, "No, there was a huge monster who came out from the forest, and look what he did to us." And Krishna said, "Big monster?" And Krishna took out the little and said, "This?" And I said, "Yes, it is him." I said, "But how come he's so small?" So this is the same with your fear. You see, if you project more your negativity into that fear, it will just become big and big and big. And at the end, you will be the one which will be miserable. So stop that.